Assalamu alaikum students, welcome back to my channel. Today we are starting a very important topic called active transport. The focus of this chapter is to answer the two main questions, that is about what is active transport and why is active transport is important for moving molecules or ion across the membrane. So by the end of this video you will clearly understand these 2 points. So firstly we will discuss the definition of this, that active transport is the movement of molecules or ions into and out of the cell through the cell membrane from a region of lower concentration to a region of higher concentration, and that is against concentration gradient using energy released during respiration. This definition tells us the three main things: that active transport moves substances from low concentration to high concentration, it works against concentration gradient, it needs energy from respiration. That's why it is known as the active transport. Now here is the very important point, that is why active transport is important. If diffusion was the only way for substances to enter and leave of the cell would have no control over what goes in or out. Any substance that was more concentrated outside the cell would diffuse into the cell even it was harmful. Also, substance that the cells needed would diffuse out and when the concentration become higher inside the cell. So, diffusion alone is unsafe and uncontrolled. Now I discuss the role of cell membrane in this. However, the cell membrane has a lot of control over the substances which enters or leave the cells. In some cases, substances are taken into the cell or removed from the cell against the concentration gradient. This means that the movement doesn't always go from higher concentration to a lower concentration. So, the cell needs a very special process for this, and this process is known as active transport. Now we discuss the example, that is the plant root hair cell. Plant need minerals from the soil, but these mineral ions are present in the soil in a very dilute solution. Diffusion can't work in this case, so root hair use active transport to take minerals from the dilute soil solution into the root cells where the concentration is higher. This movement is against the concentration gradient and it requires energy from respiration. Now here is the point, that what is for the energy that is required for active transport. The chemical energy released during respiration is converted into kinetic energy, which is used for the movement of ions and molecules. So active transport depends directly on respiration. Now there is a very tricky question, that is effect of stopping respiration. Anything that interferes with respiration, such as lack of oxygen, lack of glucose, will stop active transport. This clearly shows that active transport needs a constant supply of energy from respiration. Now we summarize today's lecture, that in this lecture we will discuss the definition of active transport, movement against the concentration gradient, why diffusion is not enough, role of cell membrane, root hair cell example, and the energy from the respiration. In the next video, we will discuss the more examples and the controlled diffusion. Till then, take care. Allah Hafiz. See you in the next video.